everyone. How are you? I hope fine. Today we return to the very famous Kpop Unpopular Opinions trend, but this time, they will be taken from TikTok accounts. Obviously I will keep people's anonymity for privacy reasons. I will comment on what I think of their opinions and that's it. You too write in the comments what you think and I apologize in advance if you can't read the writings. Let's begin. Stop shaming fans for not liking BTS English tracks. I agree 50%. It is true that going against someone just because they don't like a song is childish and uneducated, but it is also true that many people who do not like BTS English songs always look for the stupidest excuses to explain why they don't like these songs. I don't shame you because you don't like their English songs, I shame you if you make it a matter of language. More than once I have explained what I think about the English songs of BTS and I would not want to repeat myself, but for those who don't know me I will try to summarize. It's okay if you don't like their English songs, but always say the same excuses, like, but it's in English, it's the language that I don't like, their Korean songs are better, after a while it's exhaustive. If BTS had chosen to write a deep song in deep English, they would have done it and they would have been able to, but as they said themselves, they weren't in their right mindset to do it, because boys and girls, the pandemic has also hit them mentally. We didn't need a super deep song, we needed to disconnect and BTS gave us these 3 songs for that reason. The point is, you don't have to make it about language, because otherwise Kpop hasn't taught you anything. SM will forever be superior with experimental songs and concepts, and NCT and Red Velvet are living proof of this. I agree that SM is very experimental with songs and concepts, however I think it's not the best. I prefer hype change of concepts and music to SM's. This agency is right to be experimental, but SM is literally the one that has most punching bags when it comes to songs, because, sometimes, you have to admit that they are really bad, like for example, Sticker by NCT. The bass is completely fucked up, that flute with bass and hip-hop beat is awful and completely out of sync with the rap and vocals. I appreciate the diversity, but SM should learn how to produce better music with some concepts. ITZY is the 4th-gen girl group that is closest to having the same commercial success as Blackpink in the US. I agree. I think ITZY's music is really suitable for Western countries, and just a day ago, Jive announced that he will expand ITZY commercialism into the USA, so we will see if the girls will have success. I hope so, because I would be so proud of them, and maybe, their entrance in the USA, will change some people's mind about Kpop. Let's see and hope everything will be alright. The general dislike that locals have for Kpop stans is almost totally justified. I agree. Exactly. Finally someone said it. I love Kpop and fans of it with it, but I have to admit that many of you are the shame of this fandom and I am very sorry to see these things most days, especially on TikTok. We should be a united fandom, but then we turn against each other, only because we cannot accept the difference in the tastes and opinions of others. It has happened to me and it still happens very often, even when I express a completely peaceful opinion without attacking anyone, I always have people who answer me badly, just because they think they are cool or something else. This is one of the many faults of Kpop fans in general, if not the first and most serious. We cannot all have the same opinions and we do not all think the same way. The world is beautiful because it's varied. If we were all the same, it would be completely boring. Instead of always being so aggressive, learn to ask why that person thinks that way and try to understand their point of view, without trying to change their thinking. Because if you can't change yours, they won't change theirs. The world goes like this and if you don't like it, I honestly don't see how you can live your everyday life. To create conversations, you need opinions, and they must be respected, all must be respected. Dating bans have both pros and cons. I agree. Now, I don't know what the person meant, precisely by this opinion, but I'll try to explain why I agree. First of all, I don't think an idol has the time to be with anyone, especially in the early years of work. To create a relationship, you have to talk, get to know each other and date, and with a celebrity I honestly find it difficult. A relationship is also a distraction, so these idols should focus more on work than on relationships. By that I don't mean it's a bad thing, but while doing hard work like that of the idol, you have so many things to do. Even if the dating ban wasn't there, idols would still have a hard time being with someone. As I said before, relationships are built with various steps, and if an idol asked me to be with him, I would be hesitant because I could hardly see him and consequently the spark could disappear. However, I agree that there is also a problem with this dating ban. They make idols appear like toys, where you are their personal partner and only you can be the only one to be with them. It doesn't even seem right to me that they are filled with insults because someone gets engaged, as if love were a sin, when it is beautiful and ugly at the same time. Idols should be free to get engaged, without feeling embarrassed about it. It's their life, not ours. However, I am of the opinion that few relationships in the world of these big industries are going to last that long. We need more mixed pop group, like Card. Say it louder for the people in the back, honey. I would love to see more groups composed by males and females, but I think pop companies are too scared to try, maybe, because of the scandals that could happen. I love mixed race or foreign pop idols, sometimes more than Koreans. The last sentence is sus. I mean, maybe Op didn't mean it in a bad or racist way, but I think you should love every idol, regardless of what they are. BTS's maknae line is a bit overhyped. I agree, but it's not the fault of the BTS members. The fault lies with the ARMY, everything, Jungkook, Jimin and Jungdu. They give them so much attention, that they seem overhyped, but I don't think the members like being complimented for the least thing they do either. Then, most of the fandom does not reserve the same energy when a member of the Hyung line does something, and to see that there are still these differences, frankly pisses me off. The members of the maknae line are truly talented, and I repeat that I don't blame them for the exaggerated attention they receive, but it would be nice to see fairness. G-Idol best song is Dumdy Dumdy. I agree. I know most people won't agree with this. Dumdy Dumdy was called with many names, but I feel like it's a perfect summer song to listen when you are in the mood. I love the colored outfit, same for the music video, they reflects the style of the song perfectly. And I'm in love with the choreo, it reminds me of Hawaiiana dances, and I absolutely love that. Yuna is one of the best visuals and the best dancers of the industry. I agree 50%. Yuna is an excellent dancer, she has great charisma when she is on stage and I love her bright voice. She is very talented, but I don't think she is one of the best dancers in the industry. I once saw an estimated ranking from a dancer, so a person who can talk about the world of dance and Yuna, in a rank of the best dancer of ITZY, would be right after Leah. I don't know much about dancing, but I agreed with this person, because Yuna is one of the ITZY members I watch the least on stage, because her moves aren't the clearest and most fluid. Anyway, yes, the girl knows how to move and she puts all of herself when she dances, but I prefer the stage presence of Yeji, Ryujin and Chaeryeong. As for the visuals, I can't tell you, everyone has their own tastes in terms of beauty. As for me, Yuna is quite in the norm for me. I mean, she's cute, I like her smile especially, but her face reminds me of my cousins. Seriously, they're the same, and maybe that's why I can't give her more. Black Mamba is one of the best debut songs. I agree. I think Black Mamba was the only one who succeeded to amaze in 2021, the other debuts were nothing compared though it. Yeonjun is the original and only 4th Gen IT boy. I neither agree nor disagree. I find these titles useless and I prefer not to go crazy to who to choose who is the most influential male and female in Kpop. Yeonjun certainly had a lot of impact, generally speaking. He's an idol who can do everything, and he's very talented, but there are so many other idols who have the same influence as him, so I don't think he's the only one. What good does it do to sell millions of albums if you can't even chart in Korea? Honey, this doesn't make sense. Apart from, which I think these are two things, connected to each other, you can't sell millions of albums without going to a chart, it's impossible. If you go to a chart, it means that people are listening to your songs and that you are managing to sell something. And then, sorry for my ignorance, but selling millions of albums all over the world, isn't it better than hitting the charts only and exclusively in Korea? I mean, you have a more varied and larger audience. After that, it is true that it would be good to do the same thing in Korea, but it is not that important. There are many groups that make millions all over the world but not in Korea, and they are doing great, because selling so many albums guarantees the future of a group, only rise in the charts it doesn't. The only reason why Twice are flopping, is because they've grown out of their cute concept and into a more mature one, and Korean can't accept that. Bro, where the hell Twice are flopping? Twice are still one of the most relevant pop groups in Korean and in the world. They still sell millions of albums and have more than 100 millions of views in their music videos. So, where exactly they are flopping? And if you actually look at the charts, you will see that Twice fill more than one position, so yes, Korea still accept them. I feel like you are the only one who can't accept their change, and said they are flopping, because you don't like their style anymore. But you shouldn't have sugarcoat it with these words, just say the truth and go. Nobody is gonna kill you if you say that Twice don't fulfill your tastes with their songs anymore. But don't say that they are flopping, because it's not true, and just because you don't like them anymore, it doesn't mean so. Kpop isn't getting boring, you just stand in active groups. This is a topic I wanted to talk about. The OP has a point in favor, but they were wrong to find why. I have also heard many people complain that Kpop is getting boring, but all these people were following active groups, so the reason is not the inactivity of the groups. In my opinion, like a K-Jabra Rhino said, and I think she's very smart, people are labeling Kpop as boring, because they spend too much time on it and they don't feel the sparks anymore. And I have to agree with her, because some people are so much above Kpop, that they forget about the other things in their life. Afterwards, it seems more than normal to me that if you are so much on one thing, in the end it bores you. Sometimes you just have to break away for the spark to appear. Kpop is not getting boring, it's still the same, you are the problem. Then, if you really feel boring because you don't like it anymore, then you are free to express your opinion in a peaceful way and break away from it. Mia overshadows Everglow so much, Everglow should just be called Mia and her friends. Now, that's so disrespectful. It's not Mia's fault. If you want the others to receive much attention as Mia, just stop being so mean and start considering the other members too. Fans should learn how to shut up about this, ex-idol and their friends, and actually make everyone shine. This is so annoying, I feel like choking all of the people that think this. Don't complain if the group in the future will actually be Mia and her friends, it's also your fault after all. The next one is a bit problematic, be ready. aespa is by far the most overrated groups right now. Black Mamba and Next Level were both absolute ass, they seriously lack in dancing and stage presence. Like look at Winter Go Girl, she give us nothing, literally most of their hype comes from the visuals and the expensive flashy concepts and stages etc. from SM. They are Walmart version of Blackpink. Okay Karen, are you satisfied of the attention you received now? Or you just want to keep crying like a baby because you think aespa are threatening you? Due to the conservative nature of South Korea, some of your faves, particularly second and third gen, are probably sexist, racist and homophobic. Yes, it seems more than obvious to me. This is why I don't get too attached to members on a sentimental level, because that way I avoid feeling bad when they say or do something offensive. I just wish South Korea would open its eyes a little and become more open about certain topics. But, for now, it seems only a hypothetical future. To bring about certain changes it takes years. Easy choreography is the most profitable and successful type of choreography. I agree. Indeed, the most iconic choreographies have always been the simplest. This gives people the chance to learn it, cover it up and make the choreography even more famous. I mean, no one would want to jump through hoops to enjoy a Kpop song, right? Anyway, simple choreography is my favorite. I'm not a dancer and I don't want to risk breaking my bones by doing something that is not in my ability. I just want to have fun while dancing. Among vocal line, Jimin makes the best songs. I find myself disagreeing with this. I love Jimin's voice, it makes me calm, but his style of music is not really my favorite. I prefer Hyung's style of music, it makes me cry every time I listen to one of his songs, and I also love his voice, is my favorite among the Vocal line of BTS. There are so many idols, not just region, that you all call aces, when they really aren't. They are talented but not aces, and that's okay. I agree. People seems obsessed with these useless titles, but it is also true, that if you want to call someone an ace, then you must know what the word mean. You can't just go around and call everyone aces, just because they barely sing, they dance but not at their best, and rap. Being an ace means that you can sing, dance and rap very well, not in a cheap way. Let's imagine someone who is a great rapper and dancer, and just a few times they sang a few easy and basic notes. That's not an ace. You have to demonstrate your skills perfectly, otherwise you're simply not an ace. And, as the opinion said, that's okay. We should stop seeing this as a completion, when it's really not. There are aces and there are not, as simple as that. Okay everyone, the video ends up here. Comment down below your opinions too, leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video. See ya in the next video. Bye bye.